In the previous part, we covered the group's transformation from a young chart-topping hit machine to a dusty old cabaret tribute. Everyone except Bobby jumps ship, and along with his partner, keeps the show on the road. Their subsequent involvement with Dollar frontman David Van Dare leads to a legal battle over the Bucks Fizz name, and two versions of the group exist during the 90s. But Heidi manages to take ownership when Mike and David part company. Now that she owns the name, feeling that justice has been served, she wallows in the hollow victory with stars in her eyes, whilst briefing Bobby on changes she plans to implement. Things couldn't be better. After a stressful couple of years, he's getting his balls polished again and looking at least 6 weeks younger. As time goes by, now able to leave his bedroom door unlocked at nights, he finds himself able to chuckle at the Van Dare nightmare amongst friends and family. Hoping that Heidi doesn't think less of him for hiding from Van Dare in the Falklands. This is a chance for the return of Big Daddy G. Nobody's mugging him off anymore.
We can say to people now, we own the trades market. Bucks Fizz is ours. That was great for me.
Other recent female psychopaths include serial killer Joanna Dennehy and Shea Groves. And you'd be forgiven for thinking that Heidi looks like the third member of this edgy new trio, but she's much sharper than these two, training your prey takes patience and skill, but much lower risk with a higher reward long term.
To be able to say that, really great.
She's dressed him and notices that he hasn't styled his hair the way that she told him, before skipping off with a spring in her step. Scream for me, Clacton. It's the one, the only. Bucks Fizz. In 2004, the original members are offered a tempting fee to reform as part of an 80s nostalgia show. And Heidi lets Bobby do it as the money's good and it's only one tour, although he only ends up making special appearances at some of the shows. Once the tour's over, Cheryl, Mike and Shelley decide to continue as a three-piece, keeping the name the original Bucks Fizz, scoring them some good gigs with Caravan Park Big Boys. Heidi feels mugged off, but there's 3 original members in their group, and by using the original as a prefix, the legalities are a grey area and Bobby doesn't really want to spend money on a lawsuit. One evening when Heidi's fast asleep, Bobby grabs the opportunity to have a quick look through the stage newspaper that he secretly bought. She caught him once before and he promised he'd never do it again. But as his weary old piss holes focus in on the premium casting ad, he sees a familiar name. Dollar, Bucks Fizz. David Van Dare requires good-looking girls and boys. Dynamic performers who can sing and dance for a new platinum 80s show, for live work, recording, TV promotions, etc. Boys to be slim, maximum height 5'8". Girls to be petite, maximum height 5'4". Bobby's mind's racing. Heidi's not going to be happy, but at least he can't use the name Bucks Fizz. Best wait until someone else tells her though, and shred that paper. It doesn't take long for David to get the group up and running, or for Heidi to find out. And there they are, David Van Dare's Bucks Fizz. Younger, better looking and cheap as chips, soaking up the lucrative market of small-town shitholes with shameless entertainment managers. All blonde and black to match David's industry tricks for thinning crowns and rotund midrifts, whilst looking like a dad taking his kids to their first Nickelback show. If he can cook the books like he did with Mike, this could be a nice little earner. A fascinating creature with seemingly no shame or self-awareness. As the young, partially dressed girls grind against his leather-bound lunchbox whilst he hovers over them drenched in sweat after tearing off their tops.
We was gutted to thought that we was just going to have to start again, because you can't let these people get away with it.
Big G is fully committed to the cause now, and Heidi loves to see him finally taking a stand. And she does remember the Falklands, where he barricaded himself into their room as Van Day's little foot tapped on their door.
If I gave him the name Bucks Fizz, and he said, "Wow, thank you very much, I'll now go and be Bucks Fizz," the public will say, "No, you're not.
Still wouldn't.
You are not Bucks Fizz."
I think he's over-egging the integrity of a casual Bucks Fizz fan here, and the credibility of his incarnation is only fractionally more than Van Day's. Heidi unironically backs him up.
If I'm on my dying breath, he will not have it.
Is that a threat? Look at the anger in his face. He's not a violent man, but anyone can be pushed too far. Now he's ready to fight to the death for this name. Mike went bankrupt trying to sue David, but now that his manhood's been challenged, he feels cornered. And nobody corners Bobby Gubby in front of his queen. They take David to court, knowing that it should be an easy win with little backlash. But the judge scoffed at the shameless clown show laid before him, tickling himself, saying that he didn't feel there was much fizz left in the name anyway, and that Van Day could continue using his variation of the name for the time being, completely wasting their time and money. And the party continues, Van Day's blonde version picking up the scraps from the others, whilst Heidi continues to plough on with her major asset, Bobby. And an oversized Mike now tears a skirt off with each hand. In 2007, Cheryl, Mike and Jay appear on a TV makeover show where they're awkwardly joined by none other than 80s homewrecker Jay Aston, obviously in need of some cash. We're invited to laugh at their aging process, fascinated that even the top shaggers slowly rot into dust. I know what you're all thinking. Mike would still get it. Little twist to finish things off as Mike's trousers are torn from him by the girls. What a moment. Not a drop of shit in sight. And I'd love to say that this wholesome night was the end of the story, but I'll quickly bring you up to date. Cheryl and Co came across a performer that not only looked like Bobby, but was also called Bobby, fooling many and giving them a boost. But it was the straw that broke the camel's back for G-Man. To be fair to him, he'd tried to share, but now they've pretty much cloned him and devalued his act. In 2011, a court ruled that nobody else could use a name with Bucks Fizz in it. They changed it to OBF briefly, then eventually to the Fizz. Heidi continues to wheel out her silver fox for regular bookings, but no longer in the group herself. Bobby Clone leaves the Fizz and they return to a three-piece, but there's more problems. Mike can't be arsed and just wants to sit at home and watch Under the Hammer in his silk lingerie. So as of quite recently, it's just the two girls with two new guys. Camp cabaret types, dressed in costume department leftovers. But they can sing, and they continue to regularly record new music to an audience that enjoy it. Nicola and Andy executed a great run of hits during the years preceding the coach crash, becoming millionaires and even staying together, despite Andy sleeping with Jay, most notably just 2 days after their marriage, in their home. The performers, on the other hand, much like we've seen previously, show us time and time again that without the brand, they're nothing more than working man's club acts that landed on their feet. All joking aside, Bobby G has always had a great theatre voice and laid down some great studio work, as well as solid live performances. The rest of them are side dishes of varying quality, but elevate the experience and crucial to the brand. York or Gubby cock-blocked any official reunions, but you can decide whether that was a good or a bad thing. I think I'm okay with it. Peace and love.